Hey guys, this is Taja V. Simpson, and you're watching Young, Bold, and Regal. Happy holidays.
Hey everyone, Rachel Mbuki here. You're watching Young, Bold, and Regal. We're still at this amazing event here at the BMW of Beverly Hills, and I'm so excited to be standing next to the amazingly talented Miss Taja V. Simpson.
Intro. Thank you, Rachel. That was lovely.
I'm just so happy to be standing next to another tall girl like we were talking about. It's kind of rare, right?
It is. It is. Let's just take a moment for our height.
Right?
Okay, great, thanks.
Exactly. Oh my God.
It is. A lot of people in Hollywood are much shorter than what you think, and when you meet them in person, you're like, oh my God, I'm that much taller than you. It happens every day.
Yeah, you know, when I post videos on my Instagram, people are always like, Rachel, how tall are you? Because I look ginormous. But anyway, so I want to get started with you. Like, oh my God, where do we even start? Now, your show on BT, The Oval, you are incredible in that. Produced by Tylerperry. What is it like working with him?
Great question. So, Tylerperry is a trailblazer.
Right.
He is an award-winning filmmaker now. He is a visionary.
Studio owner.
Studio owner, right? So working with him every day, it makes me dream bigger. It makes me expand my brain. It makes me know that whatever this little brown girl thought about when she was younger, I can actually achieve. Like, he's from Louisiana, I'm from Louisiana, he's from New Orleans, from Lake Charles, so it's such a close, it's like 3 hours away, so it's like, oh wow, if he can do it, I can do it too. So when I go to work every day, it's a little different because I'm sitting next to the owner of the studio. So when you see Tylerperry Studios, I'm like, oh, I'm sitting next to him, not just another director or another writer, producer, whatever, and all those are great. But it hits a little different when you sit next to the man himself.
I mean, he is just phenomenal. Yeah. And not to mention, he writes everything he produces. I did read an article, though, saying that he's going to start letting other writers do some of the writing for him. Are you looking forward to that? Is that going to also be on your show? Are you going to have new writers?
I don't know when he's going to roll that out. Yes, I did read that article as well. I think that's going to maybe happen in the next couple of years, but I'm not sure when. But here's the thing. Tylerperry knows his audience.
Right.
Like, it's his cousin, it's his family, they were friends. Like, he knows them very, very well. Another thing he said is that when he did have a writer's room, people were writing for our shows, but it wasn't really hitting home. It wasn't really speaking to the audience that he talks to. So then he had to kind of come back and do it on his own, his audience. He's created an entire lane for himself, and they call him the Tylerperry Army. Because when he comes out with anything, baby, that army shows up, honey.
I know.
Army shows up.
I know. I remember when he used to do the plays and he was on tour with that, and then that kind of like ended up becoming the movies and everything we know him for. So how do you get the attention of the Tylerperry? How do you get him to notice you? Because we know once he endorses you, you're off to the stars. Right. But like that little girl in Louisiana watching right now, just like you were before, she wants to one day work with Tylerperry. Where does she begin to make sure that he sees her one day?
Great question. For me, it was consistency. Yeah. I auditioned for Tylerperry 7 times for 7 different productions, and I'd gotten really close. I was on hold for one of them, and it got to the point where I was like, okay, well, he knows my work. He knows I can do it, so maybe one of these days I'll get the role. My 8th thing that I auditioned for was Boo 2. A Medea's Halloween, and I booked that. And 7 is the number of completion, and 8 is the number of new beginnings. So when I got on set that day, that was his first time working with me, so no one knew me, so all the producers were there, and it was like day 1. I think I was in the 2nd or 3rd scene of that day. We were shooting outside of the school, and the producers were like looking over to the side, and they're like, okay, let's see what she does. And I get in there, and I'm playing Deborah, his sassy wife, and whatever my lines were, I'm sitting, I'm just going off, and blah, 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 I'm doing my thing, and then he said, cut. He looked at the producers and was like, okay, she's good. And I was like, I got the approval. So I would say consistency and tenacity, like, you can't give up. You have to really, if this is something you want to do, you have to believe in yourself.
Right.
You have to know you can do it, and you have to work on your craft. So that's how he noticed me.
No, that makes so much sense to me because I just posted something on my Instagram the other day. It said something like, motivation is not what you need if you want to make it. It's consistency and the discipline. So that's amazing. Yes. Now, I also know that you had a cameo on Insecure, the final season. Girl, you are popping. What was that like? That looks like the funnest cast to work with. Oh my gosh.
It was. Okay, so that was a dream come true.
Right.
Because I auditioned for season 1, you know, that feels like forever ago,
right.
one of the characters.
Wow.
And then, you know, after that I became just a fan of the show. So when it was announced it was going to be the final season, I just started to go into like my manifestation mode, right. Like, yo, I got to get on this season. Yeah. So I just kind of literally went in prayer about it. When I say my manifestation mode, that's what I did. And I was like, okay, cool, it's mine, it's happening. Okay, then I started to believe for it. Yeah. And then when I got the audition, I was like, oh, this is going down. Wow. And Cheyenne was such a crazy character. She was super fun. And I was like, oh, the world hasn't seen me like this before, so I'm giving this my 1,000% all, like always. And then from there, we booked it. And when I got on set, my work had preceded itself because people, I mean, even not only Issa, but also makeup artists and hairstylists and different people had seen my tape. They were like, oh my God, you're so funny. Oh my God, we couldn't wait to meet you. Oh my God. And I was just like, yay, okay, great. So it was a good, camaraderie. It was a good atmosphere, and it was a lot of fun. And then in my own mind, I felt like me, Molly, and Issa were already friends. And so I got to play their friends. So it was a lot of fun. It was great.
I think we all think we're Issa's friends. I mean, I was watching her since the YouTube days, with the awkward black girl. And so it's just so amazing. You've worked with some really inspirational people, and you yourself are very inspiring. I love how spiritual you are. Where do you see yourself going next? Because, I mean, now you're officially on HBO, so like, where are we headed next? Are you doing any upcoming films?
Come on. So much. How much time do we have? Okay. No, of course. The next thing is a boxing movie. It's a second installment. It's called Lola. I play Lola. So I had to learn how to box for that. That comes out in March. The next thing, I have a few different businesses that I've created and started this year. One is called the Working Actors Academy, and that's for anyone who wants to get started in acting. This will give you the tools that you need to be successful, as you should. And the second thing I just launched last week or 2 weeks ago was Taj Hair Growth. And it's a hair growth stimulant. It's made for all hair types from 1A to 4C, and it helps. Baby, let me tell you something. That's why I created it, because my edges had fallen out from working so much. And then it's hard on the edges. So I created a tonic, and it's a water-based tonic, and I created an oil.
Oh, nice.
So Taj Hair Growth. But all things, guys, you can check me out at tajavsimpson.com.
tajavsimpson.com, you guys. So last but not least, obviously we're here for a good cause. It's charity. It's a toy drive. What do you think about this event? And as far as Christmas and the spirit of giving, what are you up to? Because I'm sure you're up to a lot. And also, when you're done doing all that, tell us where you get the energy, because wow, you have a lot going on and you do everything well.
Thank you. Yeah. She's like, tell me about this. And also, So I love this time of year. I mean, every time it comes around, it starts with Thanksgiving, and it's all about being thankful, right? Yeah. I try to live in that spirit of gratitude, being grateful, yes, every day. That's my mantra every single day. And then when we come into Christmas, people are more in a giving spirit, more in a giving energy. So they're creating events. They're coming up with events. They're being like, hey, let's do a toy drive for this, toy drive for that. So it's something that's really important to me. I love to go to as many of these events, big or small, that I can go to, so that I can give back in my own small way. Because I feel like if we all can do our part, then we're helping kids along the way. So that, I don't know, that's me. I do it tirelessly every single year. So, yeah, thank you.
You are so inspirational. I'm sure there's a little girl watching right now saying, wow, I can do it too, because you're here, standing here saying, I've come from far, and it's amazing. Yeah. It's such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for talking to us here at Young, Bold, and Regal.